Hi, I'm Erin with Body of Light Studio, and a client of mine, Karen, has requested some exercises she can do with weights in her office while she's at work taking a break. So before we do that, let's go and take a look at some of our anatomy at our skeleton inside the studio. So here we are in the studio with our skeleton, and we're going to look at two things. First of all, are our side eyes, I like to call them. I learned this cue from my daughter Poppy. She just turned 6. She's really into animals, and she's always telling me all about the animals that she knows about, which is more animals than I even knew existed. But she says, eyes on the front likes to hunt, eyes on the side likes to hide. We're predators, our eyes are on the front, but when we're trying to align ourselves without mirrors and without cues from our teachers in the room, we're going to think of ourselves as prey. We're going to have side eyes. So our side eyes are our ears on the sides of our body, and our shoulder sockets, the glenoid fossa. You can see how the socket of the scapula is really very much on the side of the body, and the acetabulum, the hip socket, which is very much also on the side of the body. And then the bottom side eye could be our ankles, but we'll be seated when we're doing a lot of these exercises today. So we've got our ears, our glenoid fossa, the shoulder sockets, and then our acetabulums, our hip sockets, on the sides of our body. We're going to keep those stacked. Those are our side eyes. And then the second thing we'll look at anatomically are the pec minors. So the pec minors attach to the coracoid process. I'll take his pec minor off of his right side. This little crow's beak that sticks out, crow's beak in Latin is coracoid process, attaches to the coracoid process at the front of the scapula, and the pec minor goes from the coracoid process to the second, third, and fourth ribs, in some people also the fifth rib. All right, so what we'll think about is that the pec minor starts here at the coracoid process, often helps to roll our shoulders in and brings our head forward, and we get this head forward, rounded shoulders, tight neck and back position. However, we could use our pec minors to lift our ribs up and keep our shoulders lifted and open and our side eyes aligned. Okay, so we'll talk about those as we do our exercises. We're back in our seat. You can sit comfortably in a chair. Ideally, your knees would be slightly lower than your hip sockets. You can also do this standing. I'm on a physio ball. It just feels really nice if you have one of those around, and take advantage of it. We've got 2 Therabands. Lighter for me is the red, green is the heavier for this specific brand. All brands are different. And we've got some 1-pound weights. I've also got 2 5-pound weights. 2-pound weights, 3-pound weights are also nice. 8 pounds would be pretty heavy for what we're about to do. So let's start by stretching our pecs. We just talked about those pec minors. We're going to lift our ribs and widen our ribs using the lift of the pec minors up into the coracoid processes. You inhale the arms up, and you exhale the arms down. So I'm holding this Theraband pretty wide between my pointer fingers and thumbs, and I'm widening my shoulders as I bring the arms up and down. I'm reaching the fingers out as the arms come up and down. So you'll inhale, arms go up, scapula glide down the back, and you exhale the arms down. Make sure your feet are grounded. All the toes are on the ground, the heels are on the ground. And as you do this, I'm going to turn sideways so you can watch one thing. As you do this, your body's going to try to escape the stretch, right? So maybe you're like really arching the back as the arms go up. As you get into that tight spot, you want to keep a nice long lifted spine. Maybe you round back, you flex the spine as the arms go up and down. So you want to stay lifted. The sides of the sacrum are going down, and the top of the sacrum is going up. The fronts of the vertebrae are going up, the back of the vertebrae are going down. Inhale as the arms go up, and you exhale the arms down. Let's do that one more time. This time you're going to see where it is that you sense the most stretch. Bringing the arms up as you inhale. And then this next time you do it, you're going to hold in the spot where you have the most stretch. So mine's right about here. Yours could be a little bit higher or lower. You're gonna widen your clavicles, your collarbones out into the sides of the room, widen the scapula, your shoulder blades out into your arms. Take nice deep breaths into your lungs. And then we'll bring the arms all the way back and down behind us, and you can set your strap down. And let's grab a hold of your 1 pound weights. You're gonna reach your hands down by your sides. Take an inhale. On your exhale, just float your arms up. You're gonna bend your elbows into a goalpost position. And as if somebody were there tapping on your elbows, you're gonna widen your elbows out. Almost like if you're standing in a door frame and you could push your elbows wide out into the door frame. Bottom tips of your scapula going forward into your rib cage. Front of your spine stays lifted. You're gonna rotate your hands down to the ground and then de-rotate, hands up to the ceiling again. Let's just do a couple more of those, getting our rotator cuff activated. Inhaling to lower the hands down and then exhaling to lift the hands up. And if you've done about 4 or 5 of these and you don't feel anything, first of all, check to make sure that you're using good alignment. So you want your ears, your shoulders, and your hip sockets stacked, your side eyes stacked. Reaching the elbows out. But if you still don't feel anything, then go ahead and grab a little bit heavier weight. We're gonna do a lot of arms, so you don't need to burn out in the first minute, but you do wanna feel something going on in your shoulders. I'm gonna turn to the side and do just a few more. Your wrists, it's almost like you're revving the engine on a motorcycle. You don't want the wrists to be droopy. You wanna keep a little bit of flexion in the wrists. Elbows are shoulder height. They're reaching wide out to the sides of the room. Keep pushing the elbows wide. All right, this next time, you're gonna keep the hands up. Inhale, and on your exhale, lift the arms, turn your palms backwards. Bend the elbows. Inhale, rotate the arms down. Exhale, rotate the hands back. And extend the arms up, palms face back or in. Inhale, elbows lower, hands come down. You're rotating, elbows still reaching. And then exhale, hands come back. Stretch the arms up. Let's do like 4 more of those. Elbows down, rotate, reach the elbows wide, shoulder blades down the back, especially as your arms go up. Inhaling to lower, keeping that revved engine, flexion in the wrists, elbows at shoulder height, and stretch up. Let's do 2 more. Feet are still pressing down into the ground. Your ears, your shoulders, your hips are stacked. All right, this next time, you're gonna rotate the hands back, stretch the arms up, and do a little spinal extension. Lift the sternum up to the ceiling. Notice, did you lose your core support? Take the sides of the sacrum down, lift the front of the vertebra up so there's a lift from your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum, up through the crown of your head. And then you come out of the back bend, elbows bend to shoulder height, reach the elbows wide as you rotate. Hands come back, take a breath in, and then on your exhale from your pubic bone up the front of your spine, lift and arch the back. The lumbar spine is lifted, you're not dropping the organs forward. Elbows lower, you rotate, we'll do 4 more. And stretch up. Maybe even lift the pelvic floor as you come into the back bend. Inhale, hands come down, keep your engines revved. Don't let those elbows get droopy. Reach those elbows wide, hands come back. Stretch the arms, lift the pubic bone and arch the spine. Inhale, keep your engines revved. Press the elbows wide, hands come back, stretch up. Lifting the pelvic floor as you extend. And last 2. Exhale to lift. And last 1. And we'll bring our arms down and rest. Shake out your shoulders. you should feel a pretty good burn in your shoulders from there. Not to fatigue, but a good amount of work. All right, this next one that we're gonna do, you can stand up and maybe bend your knees. I'm gonna tuck my sweatshirt in to my pants so you can see the core engagement a little bit better. So we're gonna be here with a nice extended or long spine. You're not overextending your lumbar spine, but you're also not tucking and flexing. So you wanna be really long from your tailbone and your sitting bones reaching back to the crown of the head reaching forward. Turn your palms to face backwards. I've got my 5-pound weights here. They're a little bit heavier. You're gonna take an inhale, let your shoulders drop to the ground, and then exhale, suction the arms up into their sockets. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, the weights drop a little bit lower to the floor. You protract the scapula around the sides of the rib cage. And on your exhale, you widen the shoulder blades and the collarbones as you suction the arms into their sockets. Inhale, hands release down. Exhale, engage your core. Plug the humeral heads up into their sockets. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, plug. Inhale to lower, exhale to plug. Now you're going to turn your palms to face backwards. Take an inhale, exhale, hands go back. Notice, did your shoulders drop forward? Keep shoulder heads back, clavicle, scapula wide. Inhale, the arms reach forward. Exhale, the arms go back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, arms back. Let's do 5 more. And as you do this, you're trying to turn your thumbs more up to the ceiling. So you're rotating your hands that way. But as you do that, you want your shoulders to stay wide. You're not letting the shoulders round. You're keeping that open chest, lifting and widening the pec minors. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Let's do 2 more. And then you'll bend your elbows. Keep your elbows tucked into your waist and stretch your arms. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Pubic bone is sliding back between your inner thighs. Tail is unfurled towards the ceiling. Occipital bone, the back of your skull, is lengthening away from your tail. Let's do 3 more. Keep the hands really close to your sides. It's like you're trying to pinch closed the space between the outer upper shoulder blade and the upper arms, like the back of the armpit is pinching closed. This next time, you're gonna keep your arms up by your side, turn your palms to face in, and then sweep your arms all the way up to stand. Take a big inhale, and hands down by your sides. All right, so we've got our shoulders on our back. Let's do 1 more exercise for your rotator cuff. We'll see how I do with this green. After the arm work, I might need to drop my weight down a little bit and go to a red. I think it'll be okay. All right, so in this one, seated or standing, elbows tucked into your waist, broad lifted pec minors opening up through the front of the rib cage. You're gonna keep your shoulder blades on your back, take a breath in, and on your exhale, hands widen apart from one another. So that's the move. It's really simple, but it's actually quite difficult because what we're not doing is squeezing the shoulder blades together. So I'll show you from the back. If you can see, I'm not squeezing the shoulder blades together to widen the hands. My shoulders are actually staying very still. I'm isolating the movement in the humerus, the upper arm bone, which means you might not be able to rotate the hands out very far. I'll show you from the side. Really isolating the humerus rotation. So you get some good rotator cuff. So as you widen the hands, you're also widening through the shoulders. You've got your side eyes stacked, ears, tops of the shoulders, or the shoulder socket rather, and your hip sockets. Let's do 4 more of those. 4 and 3. Nice wide shoulders, lifted pec minors. Now this next time, you're gonna stretch your arms forward, keep a little pressure pulling apart, and then slide the elbows in, derotate, inhale. Exhale, hands pull apart. You stretch the arms forward, shoulder blades slide down the back. Bend the elbows and release. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, exhale, wide. Lengthen the arms forward, bottom tips of the scapula going into the rib cage, bending the elbows, hands come in. Inhale, exhale, hands go wide. You stretch the arms, you bend the elbows, hands come in. Last time. And that's it for the exercise portion. Let's just one more time. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, arms down to stretch the pecs. Let's do that last time. You're gonna leave your arms back behind you and you can let go of your Theraband. And let's stretch our necks. So you'll rest your hands in your lap. Draw your chin down to your chest, and you're going to slide your chin across your clavicle to your right armpit, keeping the shoulders dropping back and down. And then take your right ear to your right shoulder, enjoying the stretch in the side of your neck. And then find that same lift from the pubic bone up the front of the spine as you circle your head back. Take your ear to your left shoulder. The right shoulder is moving back and down. And chin to your left armpit. And you'll lower your chin to your chest. We'll go the other direction. Make sure you're still breathing. Slide the chin to your left armpit so you're twisting in the cervical spine. And then tilt your ear to your left shoulder. You can move more slowly through certain sections, maybe go back and forth through a section if you get a nice stretch. Opposite shoulder moving back and down. Circling the head back, keeping the lift up through the front of the spine. Taking the ear to the other shoulder. Opposite shoulder moving back and down. Chin to the right armpit and lowering your head down. You'll float your head up. And we are finished for today. Thanks for joining. I hope you had a good break in your office. Bye.